All right, here's your Tustin Ranch single family residence 92782 homeowner report going into January of 2022. We're going to talk about some price data, we're going to talk about some sales data, and then we're going to give you some predictions, some things that we're going to, things that I think you need to know about just to kind of keep an eye on as we move into January of 2022 for the Tustin Ranch area for single family residents. If you want to keep up on our updates, you want to get our updates on a regular basis, just go to our channel somewhere. There's a link somewhere on this video somewhere that you can go to, subscribe to our channel, get notifications whenever we do these updates. We only do them once a month, so you're not going to get a lot of notifications, but it will be a good idea for you just to kind of keep an eye on what's going on. Go back, look at other reports that we have done. Let's look at some of the pricing data in Tustin Ranch. So again, this is for single family residents only. If you want condos, you want other parts of Tustin, North Tustin, whatever, we have reports on those on our YouTube channel as well. So go there and check that out. We got 5 months of data. We do 5 months to kind of see if there's any kind of real trend going on, but we also do median and average. And the reason we do that is because there's just not enough data. There's not enough data to really get a good median. If we had 100 homes selling, we could have a good median. But you'll see when we get into the sales data, the numbers are so beyond ridiculous low. It's hard to call that, those numbers. So we do median and average to kind of just as a cross check to make sure everything's moving all in the same direction. So if we take a look here, we go back in November, we peaked out on the median of 1,000,006. In December, we dropped down to 1,513,000. Okay, but don't worry about that too much, because again, with the numbers so low, that just the one that landed in the middle was 1,513,000. That's all. Okay, and then the next ones above that were 2 million. Okay, so take it for what it's worth. But when we look at the average here, this is kind of interesting because actually, back in August, we were up at 1,007,000. We went to 1,006,000, 1,004,000, back up to 1,006,000. An average in December was $2,082,000. That's incredible. I mean, that is really incredible. So, that's good for you as a owner, as a single family resident owner in the city or in Tustin Ranch. How much are people paying above and beyond what you are asking for the property in Tustin Ranch? And currently, in December, people were paying 103.2%. In other words, 3.2% above the original list price. So if it's $1 million, people were paying an additional $32,000 for that property. If it's $2 million, it's $60,000 over that price. And the reason is because there's just such low inventory. Now that kind of came down a little bit from October and November, from 105.2%, and probably a lot of these numbers in the December timeframe have to do more with the fact that it was holidays and tied with the low inventory. So let's look at the cost per square footage. So now this is a good. We're at 540s. We had a dip to 523 in October, and then November 573, and in December 656 per square footage for single family residents in the 92782. That is amazing. That is amazing. Let's look at some of the sales data. We got new listings, guys. Now, when I saw this, I checked it 3 or 4 times. I said, no, this is crazy. This is insane. In December, we had one listing come on the market in December in 92782 for a single family residence. That's crazy, because if you take a look at the numbers here in 92782, we have 4,000 single family residents in Tustin Ranch, and one came on the market. One. Hey, I'd like to buy a house in Tustin Ranch. Here it is. That's it. That's the only one. I mean, this is insane, right? So, the good news for you is no competition. There's no competition if you're thinking about selling your property in Tustin Ranch. Days on market, we're talking about 10 days in December until you get to the escrow period. Now, some of those days could include the negotiating period, right? So you put it on the market, you might have several offers in the first day, and then you get, it takes 4 or 5 days, sometimes, depending on the number of offers, to work through those offers, come to a final conclusion, accept an offer, and open escrow. But as it is right now, expect that you're going to be 10 days until you open escrow on that listing. And then if you open escrow on that listing, you are going to, then have another 45 days, depending on the escrow period that you guys establish. Oh, let's talk about closed sales. So, remember, we had one new listing come on the market, but in December we had 10 closed sales. So what does that mean? It means inventory's shrinking, even less than what what we are hoping for, and it's reflected based on our months of supply. So basically, how long would it take for every single family residence in Tustin Ranch to sell if there was no new listings that came on the market at all? And it's 0.1 month, which translates into 3 days. 3 days, anything that's available is gone. Okay, so yeah, we definitely have an inventory issue going on here. And in December, there was one active. Like I said, hey, I want to buy a house. Here it is. That's it. That's all you get to choose from. That's what's available. So you guys can see that you're definitely in control. Let's get into some predictions, not necessarily predictions, but more thoughts about things to keep an eye out on as we move forward into January of 2022. But first, if you are thinking about selling your house in the Tustin Ranch area, look, no need to pay the high commissions. Ask us about our 1% referral fee. We do all the stuff everybody else does, and sometimes even better. And then, but you pay a whole lot less to get that done. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. All right. Yeah, you guys are in control. You're in control. If you've got a single family in the Tustin Ranch area, no inventory, no competition, no nothing, basically pick your price. Okay. But here's what I do know will happen in January is that if you take a look at this chart here, there's a historical chart over five years, I think, of sales in the Tustin area of new listings. And you see the green dots, they reflect December. Every green dot is December. So the new listings on the market always bottom out in December. I've never seen it as one, but that's what it is now. So it bottoms out in December, but what always ends up happening is that the market shoots back up. Okay, so when the market shoots back up, as far as new listings go, we know that that's going to happen as well. But that being said, even if 10 times the existing listings come on the market, then that would not change much. It's just still not enough. Okay, so definitely, take that into consideration. That the market will, the competition will increase, but it's still, unless we get hundreds of properties coming into the market. But this is where this comes into play. When you look back a couple of months ago, we reported that Zillow, and maybe you saw it on the news, shut down their buying division. Shut it down. Didn't scale back, didn't slow down, didn't, ease out. They shut it down. They let 2,000 people go because they said it's not profitable for them to buy real estate. So if they're saying that it's not profitable for them to buy real estate, what are they seeing that we're not seeing? Okay, now some people are speculating, they just overpaid for a lot of these properties. And if that's the case, then why are they dumping them when all they have to do is sit on them for a little bit, just a little bit? The way that the market is going, where with inventory so low, cost per square footage, really high, days on market really low, all these, everything's in their favor. Why would they dump these properties? And every report and everything that we read on this said or implied that they are getting rid of them. They're selling them off to wholesale buyers. They're not sticking a sign in the yard and saying, hey, give us your best offer. They're selling them off to wholesale buyers because they want them off their books. They want them off their books now. This was, as of 2 months ago. And so they're selling those properties off to wholesale buyers. Now what they're probably doing is they're probably going in there, they're buying them, they're rehabbing them, and they're going to flip them. Okay, but when they're the largest data aggregator in the real estate space, Zillow, why would they do that? Okay, it doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, they had existing contracts with homeowners that they were going to buy their properties from. Right in the middle of escrow, cancel them. Hundreds of them across the country. So again, just these kind of red flags going on. They did not, like I said, ease out of the buying market. They put a hard stop to it. And multi-billion-dollar company, why would they do that? Things to keep an eye on and watch for the future. We're going to watch that. So, oops. And then, of course, we had the Omicron variant come into play a month ago. It was, revealed that the first Omicron variant was found in the United States. And then we all kind of, here in Orange County, we all kind of stood back and went, oh my gosh, okay, what's happening? And then, we got the mask mandate and things like that. But here's where this potentially becomes an issue for us, is because if you take a look in the Netherlands right now, they're on full lockdown. I mean, locked down. And if they're on, if that sort of creeps over here, then that changes the way that the real estate market is done again, as far as showings and activity and things like that goes. So something to keep, be aware of. So if you're thinking about buying or selling in the Tustin Ranch area, reach out to us. Happy to help out in any way that we can. I've been doing this for a long time in the Tustin area, and we look forward to seeing you next month with our next update. Go subscribe so you can get those updates. Take care.